I paid $100 for this box, and in it, supposedly, is a not working Retina MacBook Pro. It's a 15-inch 2013 base model, nothing particularly special, but for $100, depending on how much work has to be done to fix this, that could actually be a really good deal. Grand total, $105.36. I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot in this box. Yeah, no charger, just a MacBook, but that's all we need for $100. You can't even see me now. So I'm very curious about this particular one because it seemed like from the listing, the only thing wrong with this is that it didn't have an SSD. So I bought a 128 gigabyte SSD for like $12. So theoretically, we might be able to fix this for $12. I don't know. Am I missing something? Well, here we have it. It's a pretty normal looking late 2013 MacBook Pro. We are missing some case screws. I only see 2. You know what? That's fine. It makes it easier for me to get inside it, you know? Condition looks okay. I can see we have a bit of damage on the clutch cover here. Nothing really too serious. The corners are all pretty good. That's a big thing that happens on MacBooks is, you know, somebody drops it, completely caves in a corner, so we don't have that at the very least. Just a touch of delamination beginning right up here by the camera. That's a pretty common spot because, you know, people open it up, they hit that with their fingernail, and they basically just start peeling the display coating right off. Let's open it up and see what it's like on the inside. But first, today's video is sponsored by Iolo System Mechanic Ultimate Defense. Whether you're using a PC or even an Intel Mac with Boot Camp, Ultimate Defense offers best-in-class performance, protection, and privacy solutions. It's an all-in-one PC cleanup utility that quickly removes those pesky junk files, browser caches, and registry issues that can slow down Windows. Additionally, Live Boost can manage processing power and RAM management to speed up performance, while real-time virus and malware protection keeps your computer safe. Additionally, Privacy Guardian works to keep third-party trackers from fingerprinting your system online to keep your browsing anonymous. To learn more, use my link in the description below to download Iolo today and get 60% off System Mechanic Ultimate Defense with 30 days free technical support by using code LukeMiani. Again, big thanks to Iolo for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to it. Gotta get those pentalobe screws. Not bad at all. Just a little dusty. You can see we definitely have a base model. There's no dedicated graphics, but theoretically, all I should have to do is stick an SSD in there, and there we go. Fixed it. Who knew? For $100, perfectly working MacBook, the Retina display, what's the catch? Okay, power's on. Screen's lighting up. It's booting. I guess there was an operating system on this computer already. What? I don't get this. I paid $100. Okay, it's running High Sierra for some reason. Actually, that's an upgraded Core i7. Look at that, 2.3 gigahertz, whereas this thing would have had 2.0. Let's check the battery health. Maybe the battery is about to die. 447 cycles, normal condition. That was the easiest repair of my entire life, and we now have, apparently, a working MacBook Pro 15-inch Retina for $120. That's surprisingly good. I honestly thought that this video was going to be a lot more diagnosing and restoring, but I guess at this point we need to talk about how good is a $120 MacBook experience. Why pay $1,000, $2,000 for a MacBook? $120, you got yourself a Retina display. What more do you need? But first, let's get this thing cleaned up, shall we? So it turns out this MacBook is in really nice shape and it just needed a little bit of a cleaning. Now, there were a couple of stickers on the top case and those came off fairly easily. The trick with this big white one here is if you soak it in lens cleaning fluid, it softens the adhesive. then you can take a guitar pick like the one that comes with the iFixit Protect toolkit, and it just cuts it right off. You can see how easily it wipes off after just a couple of minutes. What was not as easy though was this pesky red barcode sticker, which is metallic and it was a nightmare. At first I tried using the guitar pick to get under it and try to peel it up, but it was just flaking off in these tiny little chunks and I was barely making any progress. So eventually I did find a solution, and that was to use this little plastic wheel, which is from a kit for removing the adhesive on an iMac display, but it turned out it was just small enough to fit under the adhesive and allow me to actually make some progress. This whole process was painful. It took me nearly 12 minutes to get this sticker off. Fortunately, from here, things got a whole lot easier. I used some lens cleaner to get the keyboard, palm rest, and trackpad clean, and then I just used a dry towel to wipe the display. Then I decided to install macOS Big Sur, which is the latest officially supported operating system for this machine. And with that, we're all done. So this is insane. This thing is completely above what I expected. And sure, we do have a little bit of delamination on the display, which I uncovered after cleaning everything. There's a little bit in the center, on the top, and along the bottom bezel, but it doesn't really interfere with how the screen looks. Yeah, it's a little ugly when you focus on it, but it doesn't obstruct your view of this gorgeous Retina display. And for $100, I'm not complaining. This thing is 2880 by 1800, all flash architecture. It's thin, it's light, it's got all the ports, and this one is in shockingly good condition. I'm pretty sure this was used in a case previously because it is completely factory fresh. The hinges are tight. There's literally zero scuffs and scratches, which is why I think this was in a case. And honestly, once I got it cleaned up and removed all those stickers, I could really see how gorgeous this machine was underneath. You don't see them like this all too often, but they can be found, as evidenced here, for $100. And I really do recommend doing what I've done here. If you want to buy one of these MacBook Pros, buy one without an SSD. Oftentimes they can get really cheap, as little as $100. And at that point, you can basically choose however much storage you want. You can just go on Amazon, buy a regular NVMe SSD and an adapter. I'll link those down below. And you can say, hey, you know what? I want 2 terabytes. Fine, go for it. It'll cost more than the entire laptop, but you can do that. And that's why these things are such a fantastic value proposition. And I know there's going to be some PC people watching this going, hey, you know, it's a 10-year-old laptop for $100. That's pretty normal. But not in the world of Apple. And you can thank Apple Silicon for that. Wow, wait, what? Apple Silicon, what does that have to do with this? Well, if you think about it, you can go to any major retailer and buy a new or refurbished MacBook Air with an M1 chip for like $700. And that thing's gonna smoke pretty much every Intel MacBook ever made, including like Core i9s. So yeah, it compresses the heck out of the used market. I mean, these things would have commanded at least $400 or $500 before the M1 chip came out. But as soon as that came out and has twice the performance of this, people were like, oh, well, I'm just gonna get that. I'm not gonna spend $500 on this. But that means that you can get it for $120. It's a Retina display, 15-inch MacBook Pro, battery is in very good condition, screen is bright, and there's no like, you know, bright spots or dead pixels or stage light effects going on. There's literally no downside to this at this price point. We are now in an era where a 10-year-old bargain laptop has a Retina display. That is frankly very unusual. For the longest time when I would make $100 laptop videos, we're talking Core 2 Duos with maybe an SSD upgrade. That's what we were looking at just a couple years ago, but now we have NVMe drives that you can upgrade yourself. We have Retina displays. We're even starting to get Force Touch trackpads if you buy a 13-inch, which you can also get for similar money. Like, these things are a fantastic value. I don't even know if this is going to come across in the video. It might not seem that weird to you that you can buy a MacBook like this for this amount of money, but I'm used to $100 computers barely even being able to play back a YouTube video, much less actually be a very capable machine. You could use this for Photoshop and graphic design work easily. You have to keep in mind that in 2013, if you wanted to buy a 10-year-old Apple laptop, you probably would have been buying one of these. I'm talking about a PowerBook G4 Titanium. But I mean, we're talking about quad-core Intel chips at the height of their popularity when these were really powerful chips compared to a single-core 1 gigahertz PowerPC chip. And I don't even think this thing could run beyond like Lion, if that. Whereas now, I've got Big Sur on this thing. You can patch it up to Ventura if you so choose. Totally usable experience. This is a seismic shift in the way that we understand technology to operate. And it's one that I think more people are taking advantage of without even knowing it. I mean, the amount of people that watch my channel that use machines that are more than 6 years old is staggering. Like, that is not something that was realistically possible 10 years ago. And sure, some might look at that as saying, oh, well, technology is stagnating, but I look at this as a good thing. This makes computers that are really good accessible. The fact that you can get a 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro for $100, that makes it open to pretty much anyone. So we're now in this exciting period of time where the new stuff is really pushing boundaries with Apple Silicon, and the used stuff is also really, really good and affordable. That's a win-win in my book. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.